Donald Trump is apparently so worried about Ron DeSantis entering the presidential race and throwing his chances of becoming president that he is having his good buddy Roger Stone go out there and publicly attack Ron DeSantis so that Trump doesn't have to get his hands as dirty. Now, we all know that Donald Trump, of course, has taken a couple shots at Ron DeSantis in recent months, but what Roger Stone did this week was really hit low and below the belt with a claim that kind of has a little bit of truth to it about who Ron DeSantis is and how his career was going before Donald Trump stepped in. Now, before I read this quote from Roger Stone, it is important to remind everybody who's not in Florida and wasn't in Florida in 2018 that in 2018, when Ron DeSantis was running for governor, which I did clips of this over at Ring of Fire at the time, Ron DeSantis ran pretty much all of his ads talking about how much he loved Donald Trump. He had his then 2-year-old daughter playing with these giant cardboard blocks, and he's teaching her like, oh, let's build the wall, build the wall. It was creepy, disgusting, disturbing. Pretty much everything Republicans accuse Democrats of doing with kids, Ron DeSantis was doing it with his own kid in his ad, indoctrinating her into the MAGA movement. Now, having said that, here is what Roger Stone had to say this week about Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis became governor solely because of Donald Trump. He was an unknown congressman. His campaign was mired in single digits. He was having fundraising problems. Now, he's going to continue in just a moment. I'm going to read that, but I do want to point out here, he's not right. He was an unknown congressman. I didn't know he was a congressman, honestly, and I know this may sound bad, till about 6 months ago. I had no idea Ron DeSantis had served in Congress. And I'd watched all his ads. Like, he didn't want to talk about his career. By the way, he never once had a single bill get passed while he was in Congress either. And that includes during the times when Republicans actually controlled the chamber. Still couldn't get anything done. But yeah, I didn't know that until about a couple months ago. So right off the bat here, Roger Stone is correct. He then goes for that low blow. Ron DeSantis' campaign was turbocharged by a tweeted endorsement by Donald Trump. Otherwise, he would be working at a Dairy Queen right now. Trump had to campaign here in Florida in the last 2 weeks of 2018 to drag DeSantis over the finish line. Now, I don't know. I think Dairy Queen has higher standards than the voters of Florida. So I don't know that Ron DeSantis would get that job. I think he would be passed over for somebody far more qualified, like a 15-year-old that's never held a job before would probably be a better Dairy Queen employee than Ron DeSantis could ever hope to be. So that's where I disagree with Roger Stone here. DeSantis isn't Dairy Queen material. No. But the rest of it is true. Trump made DeSantis. But what Roger Stone and Donald Trump himself miss is that once Trump made him, much like how the Republicans made Trump, the monster grew out of control, right? You couldn't handle it. You couldn't tame it. You couldn't contain it either. And so momentum for DeSantis continued to rise. And that's the situation that we're in right now. DeSantis has gone and made a name for himself beyond Donald Trump. Trump may have pushed him over that finish line initially because it was a very tight race between him and Andrew Gillum. I mean, a couple thousand votes. DeSantis almost lost, and then he comes back this time, wins by the largest margin we've seen in Florida gubernatorial election history. And DeSantis did that on his own, because he has taken advantage of the culture war issues with Florida's low information voters. Sorry, Florida voters, that's what you are. You've been duped, you've been conned time and time again, and you're letting DeSantis do it to a far greater degree than Donald Trump could ever do. But Roger Stone, probably Donald Trump too, are going to continue these attacks. And that's because every new poll that comes out shows Trump losing to DeSantis. They're trying to bloody him up, make him look like a fool, so that he doesn't throw his hat into the ring and ruin Trump's chances of becoming president. But DeSantis doesn't have to ruin those chances because Donald's done a pretty damn good job of that himself. All DeSantis has to do, and this is what insiders in Tallahassee say he's doing, is waiting for Trump's campaign to self-destruct, and then when Trump's taken himself out, DeSantis is going to jump right in. Hi everyone, this here is little Athena, and Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet, so please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.